Hi, good evening, everyone. Welcome all of you to the YouTube channel of BYJU'S Exam Prep. And friends, I'm Gourav Gupta and I'm here with all of you. And in this session, I'll be discussing the roadmap to score 350 plus marks in CMAT this year. Now, before I start this session, I would quickly like to confirm if I am audible as well as visible to all of you. Come on. So, can you please quickly confirm if you all can hear me, if I'm audible to all of you? Hi, Rachna. Good evening. How are you? So, I'll wait for a few seconds before I'll get a confirmation from other students as well who are there in this session. Just tell me yes or no. Just mention yes in the chat box if I am audible and clearly visible to all of you. All right, friends, I'm waiting for all of you. So tell me, okay, yes. So I've got a confirmation from my team that I am audible. Yes, Jagdish, Harsh, thank you very much. Good evening, all of you. So friends, I'm Gaurav Gupta once again here on YouTube channel of BYJU'S Exam Prep, and I'm here to basically discuss the roadmap to score 350 plus marks in CMAT 2022. All of us were anxiously waiting for the date for CMAT to come up. And yes, we are here with the date. So you can see the notification on the official website of CMAT that the examination will be conducted on 9th of April. That is a Saturday. All right. So Jagdish, thank you very much. Tejaswi, Aditya, hello, good evening to all of you. So friends, let's quickly start this session with the agenda of this session. So in the first 2 or 3 minutes, I'll be just showing you the notification, the latest notification of CMAT. And next in 1 more minute, I'll discuss about the pattern of the examination, and then I'll come to the main important agenda of this session where I'll be discussing the roadmap to score 350 marks, followed by some of the areas we need to focus to ace this examination of CMAT 2022. All right, so friends, let us begin this session. Ahad, hello, how are you? So friends, let's start this session. So first of all, the public notice, the latest public notice, which was published on 11th of March 2022 about the examination date and schedule for CMAT 2022. So they have mentioned that in continuation to the public notice that they have notified that they have published on 16th of February 2022. So now the examination will be conducted on 9th of April 2022, and there will be only one slot according to them. So earlier they have mentioned that the examination will be conducted in two slots. One was the morning slot 9 to 12, and the another was afternoon slot 3 to 6. But now they have clearly specified, clearly mentioned that the examination will be conducted in only one slot, that is 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. It's a 3 hour slot, and it will be conducted on 9th of April 2022. So those who have missed this notification, they can just have a look at it. Or there is no need to even go to that notification because it is already in front of you right now. Now, Harsh, you're asking, can I skip syllogisms? Now, Harsh, if you are ready to sacrifice a few marks, because we have seen questions from syllogisms to be coming up in this examination. So definitely, if you are ready to sacrifice on one or two questions of CMAT examination, then definitely you can skip syllogisms. But in this session, we are basically talking about the roadmap to 350 plus score. So definitely it will not be advisable to skip any topic about which you are confident. Okay, so just as a small piece of suggestion to all of you, that in case you are targeting a very good score, a wonderful score in CMAT examination, then you cannot afford to skip any topic in quant, logical reasoning, and language comprehension. All right, so these are the three sections in which you must target. So there will be 60 questions, 20 questions in each of them. So you must be targeting at least 19 questions in order to score 350 plus marks or any wonderful score above 325 marks in this examination. All right. Now let's move ahead and look at the pattern of this examination. So as we all know, the examination is divided in 5 sections having 20 questions each, and the weightage of every question will be +4. So we can say that the total marks, the maximum marks for every section will be 80, and the entire examination comprising of 100 questions will amount to 400 marks. All right, the medium of the paper will be English, and some of the important things that you must focus on is the marking scheme. So every question will carry 4 marks. Randhir, I'll come to the source of each of these sections. So you are asking me the source of GK or GS. So I'll definitely tell you in a few minutes. Ritesh is asking, should I have read March month current affairs or up till February? So Ritesh, you still have some time. So obviously it will be advisable to finish all the current affairs up till February. Examination is in the month of April. So according to me, if examination is on 9th of April, then if I'll talk about the GK section in particular, then it will be difficult, like because the examination must be ready, like they must have set the entire paper at least 20 to 30 days before the actual examination. But looking at the reputation of CMAT, it is difficult to say that they would have set the examination 1 month before the actual date. So you can go ahead and like just read some of the current affairs of first 10 or 15 days of March as well. All right, so we still have time, so it will not take a lot of time. It will hardly take 1 or 2 hours for you to finish up with all the current affairs of like first 10 days of March. All right, all the best. Kush, wait. Like students, what I'll do is I'll add one more thing to the agenda of this session. So let's finish up the agenda that we have decided. Let's talk about the roadmap, the strategy to score wonderful marks in CMAT examination. I'll talk about the important topics as well. And after that, in the last 5 to 10 minutes, I'll have an open discussion and I'll give you some time to ask some questions related to your preparation. Okay, so let's keep the question and answer round towards the end of this session. So I'll cover a lot of things. Probably I'll be able to answer, or I would have covered some of the things which you are about to ask in your questions. So let's wait for for me to explain everything that I have kept in this session, and then later on in the last 5 minutes or 10 minutes I'll spend answering to all your queries. All right, so I was talking about the important pointers that we must take care about this examination. So obviously each question will carry 4 marks. Now, if your answer is correct, you will get +4. If it is wrong, it is -1. If you'll not attempt any question, then no marks will be awarded. All right. Now, there is only one option which will be correct. Okay. So none of the questions will have 2 options as the correct answer. All right. Point number 6 and 7, like these are the 2 points which will come into play in case there is any ambiguity with the answer key that is released after the examination. So no need to focus on point number 6 and point number 7. All right, so that was the pattern of the examination. Now let's come to the most important thing that like for which we all are here. So the roadmap to score 350 plus in CMAT examination, the most important question that all of you want an answer for. Now, how can we score 350, or how can we score 340, 320, or maybe above 300? So lots of you must be looking for an answer to this question. Now, friends, there is a very simple answer to this question. Now, you want to score high, so you will have to put in lots of hard work. There is no shortcut of scoring wonderful marks. All right. So now in this session, I'll be telling you some of the things that you should be following for the next, how many days are we left with? Today is 14th of March. So in the month of March, 17 days are left, and I'll count 8 days of April. So in total, we have around 25 days. And in these 25 days, yes, you can still increase your score. Okay, so let's discuss some of the important things that all of us must follow. Now, Vishal, you are asking, Jaldi batao, sir. So, Vishal, I think I have missed your question. So, you can put up your question once again. All right. And like I've mentioned, that I'll be keeping few minutes towards the end of this session for your question and answering. All right. So definitely you can wait for your query to be resolved. Now let's talk about the roadmap to score wonderful marks in CMAT examination. Like I mentioned that it is not shortcut. So we have to plan each and everything for the next 25 days. All right. So what things we need to do first of all before the examination, that means in these next 24 or 25 days that are there in front of us. Okay, so let's focus on each and every pointer that I'm going to discuss here. Now, point number one, in these next 25 days, it is very important to revise all the concepts and the shortcuts. Now, I can say that most of the questions of quantitative aptitude are based on concepts and application of shortcuts. Now, there will be some questions which may be lengthy, but we have seen in my previous sessions and the sessions which I'll be conducting in future as well. So when I have just like done the complete analysis of any of the examination of CMAT, specifically QA section, then you can see that there are around more than 10 questions, around 10 to 15 questions, which are the direct application of some basic concepts as well as the shortcuts, like the concept of successive percentage change that we have discussed in my previous sessions, the concept of time, speed, distance, circular races, linear races. So there are some concepts which are directly applied in the questions. Now, if you don't understand these shortcuts, if you don't know these shortcuts, then you'll be taking a very long route to get the answer for these questions. And then you'll be basically wasting a lot of time. So in these next 25 days, plan your studies properly so that you'll be able to revise each and every concept and the shortcuts specifically related to quantitative aptitude. All right, so this is one very important thing that you must understand. I'll also be telling you how you should be planning your studies in the next 25 days. So please wait and watch. All right, now the second most important thing is a proper planning of mock tests. Okay, now since we already know that our examination is on 9th of April, all right, so you can plan at least 5 or 7 mocks in total. All right, and you can start your mock papers from 25th of March. All right, so I'll just quickly write the dates on which you must plan your mock papers. Now, 9th of April is the examination, so your last mock should be on 6th of April. All right, so 6th April should be your last mock. Then 2 days before this, 4th of April, 2nd of April. So these will be the dates in April on which you must plan your mock papers. Then 31st of March. So I am just leaving one day. I'm planning your mock test series on every alternate days. All right. Then before this, 29th of March, 27th of March, and 25th of March. All right, so I have given you a schedule for 7 mock papers. So starting from 25th of March, every alternate day you must take a mock, and your last mock should be on 6th of April. No mock should be taken on 7th and 8th of April. All right. Also plan these mocks in such a way that you are taking all these mocks in the same time slot which is for actual CMAT examination. So that means 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. Okay, so plan all these mocks in this time slot of 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. All right, so I have given you the entire schedule for all your mock papers as well as the time slot at which you should be taking this particular mock test. All right, now the next important thing is a proper analysis of each and every mock that you are taking. I always mention in these sessions that a mock is incomplete without analysis. So if you are not doing the analysis, then there is no need to take a mock. All right. So a mock is incomplete without the analysis. So after every mock, so you are if you'll be taking these mocks in this time slot of 3 p.m. to 6 p.m., then immediately after 6 p.m., okay, so you can take a break of 15-20 minutes, but don't give a very long break. And immediately after you have taken a mock, start a detailed analysis for that mock and spend at least 1.5 to 2 hours on the complete analysis. All right. So immediately you are done with the mock, plan your mock analysis. Now, what should be done in a mock analysis? Let's discuss that. Now, in every mock or in every examination that we take, I divide the questions in three categories. Obviously, the questions which we have attempted correctly. Second, the questions which we have attempted wrongly. And the third one, the questions which we have not attempted. Okay, so these are the three categories in which I divide these questions. So first of all, look at the questions which you have left unattempted. All right, so look at these questions and just try to find out the reason why you have left these questions unattempted. Because you did not get time to reach to these questions can be one of the reasons. Because you felt that the question will be lengthy and you have left it altogether, and towards the end of the examination you could not get time to come back to that question. It may be one of the reasons. Also, the question was difficult, you forgot the logic, you have not even read the logic related to that question. So there can be numerous number of reasons why I have left the question unattempted. Okay, so if it is a question of quant, LR, data interpretation or verbal ability, then obviously you are lacking somewhere in the concept. So go back to the basic notes or the concept book and just go through that particular concept. If that question belongs to innovation and entrepreneurship or general awareness section, okay, so it is highly probable that you haven't read about that particular thing. If it is a question of GK, it can come randomly from anywhere. Okay, so for such questions, just spend 2 or 3 minutes looking for the answer on Google, so that in case if you are lucky and the question is repeated in your actual examination, then you can attempt that particular question. All right. So this is what you need to do for the questions which you have left unattempted. Now, second category of questions are the most important to be focused on. Now, you have attempted these questions, but wrongly. Okay. So that means you were sure about the concept during the examination, but you have done some error, some mistake. So let's try to find out what mistake has been done in this question. Okay, so is this a normal calculation error? Okay, or you have read the question wrongly, or you have just noted down some wrong figures while doing the rough work, or you completely applied a different concept, a wrong concept. Now, whatever the reason is, reason it out and try not to commit that particular mistake again in the examination. Now, there are plenty of students who attempt the questions wrongly just because of a calculation error. Okay, so make sure that whenever you encounter some calculations, then you can be a little slow intentionally during that particular instance. Okay, आपने देखा कि calculation है and you know that you always make errors while doing calculations. So अपने आप से ही थोड़ा सा slow हो जाओ. Okay, intentionally just reduce your pace for that particular calculation part. Okay, so that you will not commit that calculation error. Okay, there are some students also which uh, calculate the correct answer. They have not done anything incorrect during the calculations during the rough work, but still they mark a wrong answer. Okay, so that is sheer carelessness. Okay, so just spend extra 3 seconds and read the last line of the question and mark a correct answer. All right, now there's a student who is asking, sir, should I attempt every question in CMAT or is that wrong strategy? uh, you should not be attempting each and every question. No flukes should be there. Okay, I'll also cover this particular part in detail So wait for a few seconds as to how many questions should we attempt, okay, or should we mark flukes to any of the questions. I'll come to this particular point. All right. Okay. Now the next thing is, after you are done with analysis of a mock, obviously you should be working on your weak areas. Okay. So today, let's say I've taken a mock in the time slot of 3 to 6. Then immediately after 6 o'clock, I should be doing my analysis, okay, for the next 2 hours, and probably during the night, let's say after dinner, I'll spend 2 hours more and will work on all these weak areas. Okay, so this entire thing should be done on the same day, immediately after the mock. And again, I'll put focus on this point that you must plan your mock, you must be taking your mock papers in the same time slot as that of the CMAT. CMAT is basically from 3 to 6, so must take the mock paper then only. Okay, so Ritika is asking where to get mock test. Now, Ritika, there are plenty of mock test series for CMAT examination available in market. There are lots of institutes who are offering these things. Okay. And we at BYJU'S Exam Prep is also offering mock test series for CMAT. So you can just go to the website of BYJU'S Exam Prep, or towards the end of this session, I'll be giving you a mobile number. So you can call at that number and register for the mock test series. All right, Ritika. Okay, now let's move on to the next thing. That is refine your strategy with every mock. So once you have taken a mock, done a proper analysis, and you have worked on weak areas, then just spend 10 to 15 minutes more in order to plan a strategy, maybe a new strategy or a refined strategy for the next mock examination. All right. So what you can do is strategy also includes the target score for the next mock. So today, let's say if you have scored 250 marks with a new refined strategy, you can set up a target of 270 or maybe 280 and try to achieve that target. All right. Okay. You're saying, but sir, all mocks are unblocked. Okay, so I think you're saying that all the mocks are blocked. Okay, so just wait for 1 or 2 days, or I'll tell you the number, right? So Ritika, I'll tell you the number, and you can call on that number and discuss about this particular thing. Okay. Kush is saying, in last 15 days, like how to deal with weaker section like GK and verbal RC, or the or our strong section. Okay, so what should you be doing, Kush? I'll be telling you in a few minutes from now. Okay, so just wait and let me just get over with whatever agenda I have decided for this session. All right. Okay. Now, friends, these are the things that you must be doing before the examination in the next 25 days. Okay. How you should be doing that, I'll be discussing. But before that, let's discuss what should be done during the examination. Okay. How we should be attempting this examination. Jagdish, I'll come back to this question. So just understand whatever I am telling you, follow all these things in the next 25 days. Definitely your score will increase if you are getting somewhere around 200 marks right now. Okay, so jitna zyada revision karoge, jitna zyada efforts daloge, definitely your score will increase. So whatever I have explained you about the mock test series, the analysis, working on your weak areas, and then redefining basically redefining the strategy for the next mock, try to follow all these things and you will definitely get a wonderful score. You will definitely increase your marks. All right. Okay. Now, one very important thing you have mentioned, that college exams are with CMAT, how to manage time for studying for both. Nerve Music, I basically cannot tell you how to manage time for both, but what I'll say is definitely both examinations are equally important, and the higher priority will be for college examinations because you need to get passing marks in college examinations also. So divide your time strategically. So as per your strength areas, like if you feel that you are well prepared for CMAT up till now, so you can spend 2 or 3 hours on every day to revise for CMAT examination, and rest of the time you can devote to college examination or vice versa. But certainly I would like to tell you that now in the next 25 days it is time to spend at least 12 to 13 hours on studies in a single day. Okay, so if you'll have to manage both of them, then try to cut out the time which you are wasting. So you would know that if you are wasting the time at all, try to cut out that time, and like divert that time that you will save from all the other activities towards your studies. Okay, all right. Now, Ritika, how to boost quant preparation? I've already explained this thing in my previous sessions, and today also I'll be covering this. Okay. Now, during the examination strategy, so let's discuss how to attempt this examination quickly. Okay. Now, we have 5 sections. First of all, if I am a student who is attempting this examination, then I'll start from general awareness section. So this will be the section which I'll start from, general awareness. There are 20 questions in this section. I'll be spending not more than 10 minutes. Definitely in 10 minutes, you can manage all these 20 questions. I'm giving you 30 seconds on every question. On an average, people take 15 to 20 seconds for every question of general awareness. So 20 questions, a maximum of 10 minutes. Generally, you can attempt this section in around 7 to 8 minutes, but I'm still keeping time of 10 minutes. So I'll start with this section, general awareness. We'll spend 10 minutes. And obviously, if I know the answer, I'll mark it. If I don't know the answer, I'll leave it blank. Okay, there is no time that I'll spend in calculation. Also, there is no need to come back to this section towards the end of the paper if you will get time, because you have already attempted everything that you can. Okay, so ऐसा नहीं होगा कि towards the end of the examination you will suddenly recall something and will mark the answer, or you will do some calculations in general awareness and you will find the answer. No, it does not happen in general awareness. So no need to come back to this section towards the end of the examination. Now, second thing is innovation and entrepreneurship. Now, this section is somewhere similar to general awareness. So if you will look at the last year paper, and if you look at the sessions taken by Pranav Pant sir on innovation and entrepreneurship, then you will understand that this section is more or less somewhere around general awareness only. Okay. Also, Pranav Pant sir has suggested some wonderful books and the areas that you need to prepare for. So in case you are still struggling for innovation and entrepreneurship section, then look at the sessions taken by Pranav sir on our YouTube channel of BYJU'S Exam Prep. All right. Now there are 20 questions. I would say that you can spend around 35 to 40 minutes on this section. Now this section will be a little lengthy because you might get comprehension in this section as well. Okay, so for these 20 questions, good time to spend will be 35 to 40 minutes. And again, you can read, you can attempt all the questions, you can at least read all these questions, and in case you know the answer you will mark it, you don't know the answer you will leave it. ऐसा नहीं है कि आपको अगेन बाद में कुछ कैलकुलेशंस करके आंसर याद आ जाएगा. So again, after spending 35 to 40 minutes on this section, there is no need to come back to this section. Okay, now the target number of questions in both these sections should be 15 each. At least 15 questions you should be targeting to be correct. All right, we are targeting 350 plus. Okay, so if you are able to reach this particular target of 15 questions in both these sections, then you are on the right track to get 340, 350 marks in this examination. All right, now 2 sections over, and 10 plus 40 minutes, we are done with 50 minutes in total. Now, out of a total of 180 minutes that I get for this examination, now I'm left with 130 minutes. Okay. Now, what I'll do is, out of the remaining 3 sections, I will attempt them in any sequence. so you can decide your own sequence to attempt these three remaining sections. So I'm taking an example. So let's say I start with language comprehension now. So third number, then fourth is logical reasoning, and finally quant. Now on these three sections, so like I mentioned, you can attempt them in any sequence, but now you should be spending around 35 minutes in each of these sections. All right. So 35 minutes spend karna hai, and try to maximize the number of attempts. So that means in these 35 minutes, in each of these sections, you should be attempting all the questions which are less lengthy, which are from your strong areas, all right, which can be finished in around 1 minute. Okay, so just target only those questions which you can finish in less amount of time. So जो भी easy questions हैं, strong areas में से हैं, या फिर जो कम time ले रहे हैं, सिर्फ वो वाले questions attempt करने हैं, and you must for the time being leave those questions which are lengthy in nature. All right, so in these 35 minutes, the agenda is, the target is to maximize the number of attempts. All right, this is the point that you need to keep in mind, right? So 35 minutes, 35 minutes, 35 minutes. So in total 105 minutes in these three sections plus 50 minutes. So 155 minutes are over. Okay, now out of 180 minutes, now I'm left with 25 minutes. Now, after you are done spending 35 minutes in each of these three sections, now you can spend the remaining, the last 25 minutes, which I call buffer time. Okay, so you can spend these 25 minutes as per your wish in these three sections again. Okay, so 25 minutes को 10, 10 and 5 minutes के parts में divide कर सकते हो. Now, since you have already attempted each of these sections, so now you know that which of these sections has some more number of questions which you can go back and attempt. Okay, also make a point of one more thing. Use the facility of bookmarking the question in this examination. So let's say you encounter a question which you think that it's a little lengthy but doable. Okay, and you want to come back to this question towards the end of the examination in this buffer time. Okay, then you must bookmark that question, because it will be difficult to search to look for all those questions which you have left, and they will waste your 15 to 20 seconds. All right, so use the facility to bookmark the question every time, and you must practice whatever I'm telling you in your mock examinations. Okay, so if you will understand the strategy and directly apply it at the time of examination, then you will not be able to do justice with this strategy. Okay, so practice whatever I'm telling you during the mock examinations, so that you will be able to recall, remember, and apply everything that I'm telling you in the actual examination. All right, so first of all, general awareness 10 minutes, innovation entrepreneurship after that in 40 minutes, then language, logical reasoning, and quant and DI section in any sequence, but spending 35 minutes on each of these sections. Remaining 25 minutes of buffer time can be divided among the three sections: language, logical reasoning, and quant. Okay, and you can then maximize the number of attempts. All right, so this is the complete strategy that you must apply during the examination on the day of examination. All right, now let me look at some of the questions. My target is 120 marks as of now. John, please increase the target, because 120 marks is very low. Okay, so please increase the target. So John, whatever strategies that I'm telling you, must practice those strategy, and this will definitely increase your score. My Praveen saying my mock, my CMAT score was 1.6, and can I score above 240 in upcoming days? Yes, definitely, Praveen. So whatever I'm telling you, this is why I'm conducting this session, so that you will have like everything in your mind, so that you can increase your score. Now, Dushyant, I'm your BYJU'S student and I'm unable to attempt CMAT mocks. They're saying that the mocks is expired. When will the new mocks come for practice? Dushyant, definitely I'll take up this particular matter and like I'll be leaving the number towards the end of the exam, towards the end of the session. You can call at that session, call at that mobile number. Okay. All right, Dushyant, I'll also provide you my contact number, definitely. I'm leaving behind my contact number in the chat box. Just give me a second. So you can ping me on WhatsApp, and I'll definitely take forward your query. Now, Mihi sir, लॉजिकल रीजनिंग में मशीन इनपुट आउटपुट की प्रिपरेशन करें या ना करें? ओके, सो मशीन इनपुट एंड आउटपुट ज्यादा डिफिकल्ट क्वेश्चंस नहीं होते. डेफिनेटली दीज क्वेश्चंस वी हैव सीन इन नारसी मुंजी एग्जामिनेशन एंड स्नैप एग्जामिनेशन, बट वी हैवंट सीन these questions coming up in CMAT exam. So Mihir, what I would suggest is, obviously we don't know what questions are like are expected to come this year in CMAT. So I would say that spend half an hour, 45 minutes in practicing these questions. Okay, so that in case one question will come from this particular area, you will be in the position at least to attempt that particular question. All right. Okay, now Kush, what was your question? So I have to scroll, so you can please copy and paste your question. Meanwhile, I'll go ahead and discuss the next important point, the daily dose that you all must be doing starting today. All right. Every day you need to follow the schedule that I am giving you, and definitely you will improve on your score up till 9th of April. Okay. All right. So let's talk about the daily dose, and after which I'll start taking up your questions once again. Just give me a few seconds. Okay. चलिए, so पहले एक बार क्वेश्चंस ले लेते हैं, and then after that I'll go to the daily dose. So Manish is asking, sir, I've just started preparing. What is the probability of getting good percentile? So Manish, it totally depends on how competitive you are, how much prepared you are. So you have started your preparation, but at what level you are sitting at, I actually don't know. So if you understand the basics of quant, reasoning, and verbal, and you have taken some of the examinations earlier which are based on aptitude, then you can manage to get a good percentile. All right. How to study for GK? Satyam. So Satyam, at this point in time, it is only advisable to basically buy any yearbook, any book from the market which is composed of, which covers all the current affairs of last 1 year. Okay, so just buy a good book from the market, and spend around 1.5 to 2 hours on daily basis reading the general awareness from that particular book. Kush, in last 15 days, like how to deal with weaker section GK and VARC, uh, or our strong section. Now, Kush, I'll be discussing this particular thing in this daily dose. So this entire like next 10 to 15 minutes will be answer to your question. Daya Shankar is asking how to tackle language comprehension from scratch now. Sir, please pin your mobile number. So Dushyant, I've just left my mobile number like a few messages back. Okay. Right. So I have already mentioned my mobile number, and I'll also write it on the screen towards the end. Okay. Now let's talk about what should be a daily dose for us for the next 25 days. I've already told you the schedule of the mock test series that you should be following. Those who have joined just now, please look at this session from the beginning after I'm done. Now, I've already defined the schedule of the mock test series. You must start from 25th of March. But on the day you are not taking a mock paper, this is one particular thing that you should be following. Point number one, general awareness. So buy a book, buy a good yearbook, Manorma yearbook I've heard of, and there are plenty of books for general awareness which will cover the current affairs general awareness for the last 1 year. Okay, now spend at least 1.5 to 2 hours on this book. I'll also tell you what all areas you need to focus on general awareness. Okay, so the first thing is daily 1.5 to 2 hours on general awareness, and read all the things, the whatever book you have purchased, read most of the things from that book in these 1.5 to 2 hours. Now the key is, try not to cram each and everything. Just keep reading stuff from that particular book so that you will be able to cover most of the things in the next 20 to 25 days. All right. Now, second thing, innovation and entrepreneurship. So the books that are suggested by us, one of the books was Peter Drucker की book है एक. Like if you want to know, to understand the details about innovation and entrepreneurship section, so definitely attend the session taken by Pranav Pant sir. Follow him, and you will be able to understand how to prepare for this section. But spending at least 1.5 to 2 hours on daily basis can only like bring you in a position so that you'll be able to attempt 14 to 15 questions in this particular section. All right. Next thing is reading comprehension. Now, if you have seen the paper, the CMAT examination last year, so out of 25 questions in this section, there were around 13 questions from reading comprehension. So 50% of the section of language comprehension was composed of reading comprehension. So I can say that RC, reading comprehension, is one of the most integral part. And in these last 25 days, it is very important to practice reading comprehension. It is very important to be habitual of reading stuff. Okay, so at least 1 hour on daily basis you must spend on reading comprehensions. So doing some practice test from the material that you have specifically on RC. Okay, Komal, I have mentioned Peter K. Drucker, Druker, Drucker, Peter K. Drucker. So if you'll search for this book online, Amazon पे बहुत easily available है, so you can order this book. Okay, but before that, you must attend the session taken by Pranav Pant sir on innovation and entrepreneurship, and you will get some more insights about this particular section. All right. Now, after that, 45 minutes on verbal ability. So questions on grammar, vocabulary, antonyms, synonyms, obviously. Okay, fill in the blanks, odd one out, syllogisms. Okay, so spend 45 minutes on like every day. So today, if you're spending 45 minutes on grammar, tomorrow you can spend 45 minutes in revising all the vocabulary that you have prepared earlier, and so on and so forth. So 45 minutes on vocabulary. After that, spend 1 hour in revising the concepts of QA or practicing some extra questions from QA. 1 hour on every day. All right. And then finally, practice 1 hour of logical reasoning every day. Okay. Now, what you can do for logical reasoning is you can pick up 2 or 3 topics at a time. So today, let's say you have picked 2 topics. So spend half an hour on, let's say, blood relations, and then half an hour on the questions of directions. Okay. Like this, you keep revising all these topics, you keep practicing all these topics for the next 20 to 25 days. So this should be your daily dose. If you're not spending 7 to 8 hours minimum time on the preparation for CMAT examination, then please don't expect anything from yourself. Okay, so just 25 days left, an important examination, wonderful colleges are covered, so must spend at least 7 to 8 hours on this daily dose that I have given to you. All right. Okay. Now, Mihir, you are asking, sir, innovation entrepreneurship का reading combination easy questions आएंगे. Now, Mihir, I'm not setting this examination, so definitely the questions will be doable. Okay, but before this examination, must practice at least a few things from here. Okay. Now, Daya Shankar, how many RCs a day? So 1 hour spent on reading comprehension. In that, try to manage 5 to 6 RC passages. Okay. So 1 घंटे में 6 RC passages करो, 10 minutes on every RC passage. That will be fine, because you will not find very lengthy RC passages in CMAT examination. Okay. All right. How to prepare for vocabulary questions, Dayashankar? So for vocabulary questions, you need to understand the meaning of a lot of words. Okay. So just buy a good book of vocabulary and every day try to read 40 to 50 words, okay, in this 1 hour. So 1 hour 40-50 words read karoge and then revise it the next day, and this will help you in building up your vocabulary. Okay. All right. Now let's move ahead and talk about some of the important areas you must focus in each of these sections. Now I have basically mentioned each and everything that will be a part of all these sections. Okay, because today we are talking about scoring 350 marks. So according to me, you cannot afford to leave any of the topics. But still, in some of these sections, I have mentioned some of the most important areas at the top. So if I talk about arithmetic section, you can expect at least 10 questions out of the total 20 questions. So there are total 20 questions in this section. So from arithmetic, you can expect at least 10 questions. From algebra, you can expect 3 questions, around 3 questions, number system, 2 questions, data interpretation, around 2 questions, and 1 or 2 questions from geometry, 1 or 2 questions from modern maths. So this can be the composition of the entire examination of quantitative aptitude. In case you want to score high, you should not be leaving any topic completely. So if you are afraid of, let's say, modern maths, must at least do bare minimum areas, bare minimum concepts from modern maths, so that agar koi easy question aa jata hai, you will not leave that question. All right. Okay. Now, next is logical reasoning. So on the left hand side of the screen, you will see like all the non-verbal reasoning, and on the right hand side, you will see verbal reasoning. All right. So non-verbal reasoning, starting from blood relations, number series, directions, Venn diagrams, coding, decoding, all the things I have mentioned that I have seen in CMAT examination of last 4 to 5 years. Okay. On the right hand side, verbal reasoning. So areas of logical consistency, verbal analogies, and the questions from statement and argument. So you should be doing all these practice questions from logical reasoning. Okay. Now the division here is you can expect around 15 questions from non-verbal and around 5 questions from verbal reasoning in your examination. Amol, in algebra, it will be important to basically cover linear equations, quadratic equations. But again, in the last few years, we have seen questions from inequalities and functions as well. All right. Abhishek, cause and effect, I have not seen in the last few years, but must practice few questions of cause and effect so that you will eliminate the chances of leaving any question during the examination. Okay. All right. Now moving ahead, talking about language comprehension. So the most important area is reading comprehension that I have already told you. Then these two types of questions I have seen coming frequently in the examination. So sentence correction or finding error in the sentence. Okay. Questions from vocabulary, fill in the blanks, idioms and phrases, foreign language words and parajumbles may also be expected. So out of 20 questions, I'm expecting around 9 to 10 questions on reading comprehension, around 3 to 4 questions from sentence correction or finding error in the sentence, and probably 1 2 questions from each of these areas. All right. So this is the composition of language comprehension section. Now moving forward, the areas to be focused on innovation and entrepreneurship. So like I've also mentioned, I've earlier mentioned that it will be good to buy a good book from the market on innovation entrepreneurship. Okay. And Peter K. Drucker is one such book which you can buy and read it, finish it in the next few days. And the areas you can target are already mentioned on your screen. And for detailed in-depth analysis of this section, do attend the session taken by Pranav Pansar. All right. Now, lastly, about general awareness. So these are some areas. So on the left-hand side, you will see current affairs. And one of the students asked me about static GK. So these are the areas which you can target in static GK. All right, fine. So current affairs on the left hand side. So these are some areas which are touched in the last year examinations of CMAT. So after the complete analysis of last 4 to 5 years of CMAT examination, I could come on to the conclusion and could find out these important areas that a student need to focus on general awareness section. So left hand side, current affairs, national and international affairs, sports, science, technology, awards, business, and many more areas. And in static GK, you can read history, geography, books and authors. They have been coming, some important days and dates, brands, arts and cultures, polity. So all these areas can be targeted in general awareness. All right. So friends, these are all the areas that you need to focus in these 5 sections. Now, after whatever I have covered in today's section, I would expect most of you to be serious, almost all of you to be serious starting this day onwards. If you haven't started practicing, if you haven't started your preparation for CMAT examination in a serious way. Okay, so try to spend at least 7 to 8 hours in studying for CMAT examination. Then only you will be able to achieve what you are desiring for. All right. Now, friends, in case you have any kind of question that is there in your mind, you can please post it on your screen. The students of BYJU'S exam prep, one of the student was asking my number, so I am leaving behind my number on the screen. Okay. And in case you are suffering any of the problems with any of the products of BYJU'S exam prep, you can ping me on this number. All right. Now, some of the very important sessions we have been bringing for you since so many days. And this is one series of sessions that we have started specially for all of you, wherein you will be getting a complete revision for CMAT 2022 examination. So you can join us daily at 7 p.m. So we have already started this series today. So started from today, 14th of March. So the series is Last Lap to Get, where we'll be helping you with complete revision. So you can join us at 7 p.m. daily from 14th March onwards. All right. Arpit, the book is Peter Drucker. The book is Peter Drucker. You can order it from Amazon. Amazon पे आराम से मिल रही है ये वाली book. Okay. Now for the students who have been preparing for all these examinations and are expecting calls from some wonderful colleges, so the students must be looking for an ideal program for GDPI preparation. So we here at BYJU'S Exam Prep have started batches for GDPI preparation, and all the details are mentioned on your screen. All right. Also, the number that I've been talking about, this is the number which is at the bottom of your screen. So if you're suffering, if you are having any problem in any of the products, you can call at this number. Those who want to inquire about the test series of CMAT, they may also call at this number. Arpit, I would say that if you have completely read the book, you have understood each and everything, that then the book should be sufficient for this examination. All right. Okay. Now, finally, anyone who wants to prepare for CAT 2022, you have started complete course batch number 5. All the details are mentioned on the screen. And to get some more details, you can call at the number which is there at the bottom of the screen. All right. Now, friends, I would request all of you that if you have liked whatever I have covered today in this session, please do like this session. In case you have any kind of query, leave behind a comment and we'll definitely reply for your query. You can share this session with your friends and subscribe our YouTube channel of BYJU'S Exam Prep, and you can press the bell icon so that you will not miss any of the notification about the future sessions that we'll be conducting for all of you. All right. So at the end, I can only say that you can follow us on Instagram. You can subscribe our YouTube channel, like us on Facebook. And if you want to have a live interaction, one-on-one interaction with any of our mentors, then you can join our Telegram group. All the links are given in the description of this session. So that's all from my side, my dear friends. Thank you very much. All the best for this examination. And I'll definitely keep coming back with a lot of more sessions for all of you. Tomorrow, I'll be conducting a session on logical reasoning on YouTube at 1 p.m. So we'll see you tomorrow. Have a good night.